Hey.
Wow. Welcome, everyone. This is such an amazing day today because it is official. Today is launch day. The Sage Circle Alliance is live. And we're so excited. We're excited about the organization. We're excited about its members. And we're excited to be bringing this to you today because many of you know that the co founders of the Sage Circle Alliance are Meryl and Paul Chatlin. But many of you also don't know their story, how the organization got started. And we're going to be sharing that and so much more with you right now. So grab a glass of water, get a pen and paper if you'd like, because these are going to be some comments and conversations that you're going to want to make sure you're here. I'm Velan Hawkins, co-founder of Vegan Visibility Productions, here with my business partner,
Kathleen Gage, also co-founder of Vegan Visibility Productions and Veganpreneur Revolution podcast show. Great to
Yes,
be here.
we are co-hosts of the Vegan Revolution podcast, and we're excited because we are part of the founding membership of the Sage Circle Alliance. And what we're going to be talking about today is, what is this Sage Circle Alliance? Where did it come from? Whose idea was this and why? And on that note, how about we start things off with getting into the foundations? What's the backstory? And let's start with you, Meryl. What's the backstory here? Who are you, and how did you come to this place right here?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you both and Paul for everybody being here all at once and having this conversation and celebrating our launch of the Sage Circle Alliance. So a little bit of background. For about 3 years, I have been dreaming, scheming, looking for a way to build collaborations that could make a difference in the realm of whole food, plant-based life, right? So there's basically, we usually count like 3 aspects to that. There's the human health, there's the animal compassion, and there's the planet stewardship, right? Taking care of the planet. Those are huge subjects, huge expanses. Impossible for one person or even 10 people to do by themselves, even 100 people to do by themselves. There's just so much that needs to happen in those areas to make a difference for the health of the planet and all the living beings on the planet. So since like 2021, I've been looking for anybody who would be willing to partner and make a difference in that. About a year ago, almost to the day, Paul Chatlin sent out what he calls an open letter. And it was inviting people to respond, looking for people who would partner with him and try and make a difference in these same areas. And he can tell you more about that part, but I can tell you, when I read his open letter, I was like, absolutely, I've been waiting for this. This is the one. I've been waiting for this for like 3 years. Thank you for showing up. And I responded like within 10 minutes. I think it was within 2 minutes of reading the email that he sent out. And that's how Paul and I connected and moved this whole thing forward. But I'm going to hand it over to Paul so he can tell you what was it that he was looking for that has caused so many people to respond in a positive way for the Sage Circle Alliance.
1 year. 1 year later, I'm sharing today that I've been able to meet new friends, good new friends. Aren't I lucky? And the whole start of this was truly something that had been pining on me. I have been blessed to have spent quality time in the plant-based world with all of the greats. And when I say time, I would spend 3-4 days with them multiple times, because they'd come into town and then we'd do a tour of the colleges. And then we'd spend a day at the plant-based nutrition support group meetings. And I'm been always not afraid to ask questions. So I would ask business questions, personal questions. I got to know them. And the one thing I started realizing, and this is years ago, is each one of them agrees on 95, 98%. So if you take a position from a Dean Ornish to a Campbell, to an Esselstyn, to a McDougall, to a Furman, Bernard, etc., the whole of what they believe in is very similar. But there was a little bit of differences in the final delivery of their talks. And I think, in my humble opinion, it was holding them back to working together. But I'm in no judge of them. They are great human beings who've done great things, helped many people. But as time went on, I started realizing that I would hear people say to me all the time, it's a movement. And I started realizing it's never been really a movement. It's been an education. It's been amazing. It's helped save my personal life. But a movement to me was like, a lot more people. To me, it was always kind of a whisper or a last ditch effort to keep you healthy, keep one's health. So I, like Meryl, have been thinking about what would it be like if we were to create, initially it was like a plant-based union. So let me take you a few steps back. So I am the founder of the plant-based nutrition support group. And there was a period of time, 3 years into it, we were pure heart disease because I had and still have heart disease. And there was that moment where I thought, boy, I'd love to expand it into animal compassion and our planet. But I chose to kind of expand into diabetes, obesity, other modalities, because it would keep me in the lane of human health. And I've always believed that we have to get the humans right if we have a chance of saving animals and the planet. So I've always had a deep desire to expand into animal compassion. I have an absolute love of animals. And, being a grandfather now, I care about this planet more than I ever have. So we've, and this is all we got. So in this open letter, I kind of described that I think that it's time now to bring all the resources, all the change makers together. And let's forget about any past issues that anyone had. You walk in with a clean slate. Let's get to work. So I wrote this in an open letter that went out to, I don't know, 50 to 100,000 people that may glance at it. Some may actually read it. And as soon as it went out, Meryl, I have it down to 3 minutes, and I was a little surprised it took you so long. But I get a message from Meryl Free, and I knew of Meryl. Like, I knew of Meryl, but I didn't know Meryl. And her first words were, "Let's go. I'm in." And I must say that here we are a year later, and I'm going to show everybody. I don't know if you could pick up my goosebumps, but if you could, we have spent 6 days a week, 2 hours at least every single day to be here at this moment with my new friends, V. Lynn and Kathleen, to share in the very first day of the Sage Circle Alliance. Now, my last little thoughts on this is people are asking me now, like, what do you expect? Well, I would expect that today we're going to get hundreds and hundreds of people signing up to be part of this, because this is what we need to do to make a world of difference, not a little community difference, not a next door neighbor difference, but we need to do this to make a world of difference. So all I could do is, and all Meryl and I and my new friends can do is the very best we can. We're here today because we've done the best we could. And welcome to the SCA.
Outstanding. And I do have a question, because when I first heard about the SCA, Vilin was explaining it to me, and I'm a little bit of a slow study at times. It's like, tell me more. So for the people who, they're hearing Sage Circle Alliance, what is it? specifically? Drill it down and really make it digestible for people who have never heard of something like this before. What is it and why is it important?
Well,
And
okay,
Meryl, I'll give it to you.
Thank you. I will give just like the beginning of an answer, and I want to just put this in here. I have a four-legged, a dog downstairs that likes to scratch at the door, so I'm going to have to go let her in shortly. But so Sage Circle Alliance is a collaborative effort of plant-based, whole food, healthy vegan people. Is my sound okay?
Yeah, we might all want to mute ourselves while each person is talking. I think
Good
that'll
idea.
help. Okay.
So we are entrepreneurs, we are thought leaders, we are change makers. We are passionate about the possibility and the facts that we see about plant-based eating, that how it can make a difference for human health, how it certainly makes a difference for animal compassion and animal health, and how it makes a difference for the planet. In that world, all of us are coming together to make a difference for those specific areas in particular, right? So we actually sit and focus on those things, and we are doing everything we can to move the messages forward and get more people to hear the same message, that you don't have to succumb to high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, certain types of cancers, asthma, all these different chronic illnesses, obesity, all kinds of things, right? You don't, just because it's so common in the American population doesn't mean that it's normal to have those illnesses, and that there are ways that you can fight back that you likely wouldn't hear about from your medical provider, right? As far as animal compassion goes, the message is that our, what I call beyond human relatives, be they four-legged, two-legged, no-legged, winged, scaled, whatever they are, right, shouldn't have to suffer because we have such a huge demand of everything on the planet. You know, it shouldn't be us or them. It should be us and them, right? And as far as the planet goes, just a really quick story. I'm working with a group of kids in Kenosha. I live in Wisconsin, and I'm working with a group of kids in Kenosha. And this week we were studying the impact of humans on the rainforest, and how at this point, every minute, an area the size of a soccer field, which is actually larger than a football field, is going under because humans think it's a good idea to clear cut forests or burn them down, or take backhoes and big cranes or whatever. I can't even tell you, big diggers. I don't have the good word for that. Big digging machinery, and tear up the earth of the rainforest. And at the rate we're going, if we don't stop doing what we're doing, we will not have any rainforest left in 100 years. And what will that mean? So the impact of humans on every living thing on the planet, as well as the planet itself, is tremendous. I'll go further. We keep doing that, our children will have certainly a very, 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 very different experience of the world than we have. So that's what the Sage Circle Alliance, at least in part, is, to make a difference in all of those realms and to slow the impact that humans have on the planet and all living things, and to bring awareness about that. Now I'm going to go run and let my four-legged in. I'll be back in a second.
Okay, and Paul, would you like to share from your perspective what the Sage Circle Alliance is about? You're on mute. You're on mute. There we go.
To me, the Sage Circle Alliance is about joining together with like-minded people. It's unity. You know, as I mentioned, you know, along the way, personalities work well. Some personalities might not work as well. And I'm here to invite every single person to join us without any history, to work together to unify this voice so people could hear us, so we can make a difference. For years, people would say, "Oh, well, thank you, Paul. Thank you for educating me on plant-based nutrition and the benefits. I'm living proof of it." And as much as I always appreciated the kindness that they would show, deep down in my heart, I would think, I have to do more. And this is that opportunity before I get too old to do more. And I'm just very fortunate that as I have met, as I mentioned, a lot of new friends, what I noticed that's consistent is their kindness, their absolute kindness. And I haven't physically met some of them. I've talked to them quite a bit over the Zoom or StreamYard. And what I notice is there's an absolute determination amongst all of us and a kindness that I seek with the people around me. So once again, I am excited about the possibilities.
Okay. And Vylin, I know that you've got, I always watch you taking just amazing notes. And I'd love for you to share your perspective of the organization and why we became members, because we actually made the investment to become members because we see it as such a valuable organization. And we've also been volunteering our time. We're getting involved on different levels. So it's not just, oh, here, we want to join. We have put sweat equity into this also. So, Vylin, what are your thoughts right now about the organization and the benefits of people joining? Because, you know, there's a lot of feel good that we just heard, but let's talk practical reasons to join.
Well, thank you for that, Kathleen, because I'll have to tell you that when Meryl shared this with me, I was an immediate yes, because of several reasons. One, I understand the value of relationships and relationship building. And an organization like this, when you meet people within the organization and you're able to establish relationships with them that then lead to, like Paul was saying, unified voice and collaborative opportunities, that's the best way to do business. As an accelerated business development coach and mentor and a strategist on all levels of business development, I look at one thing in particular, and that is how can we accelerate the results that we're looking for? If we're doing an individual business, if an organization has the desire to grow, if we in our business are looking forward to having that exponential growth. I know that it doesn't happen when you're doing it by yourself. It requires you to be a part of something. And the values, the shared values, the direction and the flow in which things are even perceived to be going in. You know, I saw it immediately because I was like, Meryl, I'm looking for that opportunity. That is the thing that I can step into and contribute to in order to help increase the flow. And I think that's what the Sage Circle Alliance is all about. As an entrepreneur, as someone who's been in business, I've been an entrepreneur when I was in the corporate world. And I always looked at what makes business grow the fastest, the strongest, and makes the people doing the work the happiest, right? Zappos said, if you don't work happy, don't work. And I am all for that. And I know that when you're in a place where people are like-minded and, you know, goal-oriented, purpose-driven, mission-driven, and you're on the same mission to help heal the world. And Meryl did an exceptional job of expressing the three main areas that health and healing are really needed today, that I just knew when I heard about it and I heard the initial ideas, I was in. And it was funny because I thought about all the other, side ventures that I had done. And, you pick these things up and you try to explain them to someone, and they're looking at you like deer in the headlights, and they just don't understand what it is that you're talking about. I kind of felt like that with expressing this to Kathleen. But, when you have the level of trust in someone that you say, okay, anyway, you also know that you're in the right place, that you're going in the right direction, and that at some point the light bulb will go on.
It obviously did, because we became members, and it's like, I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but when Belin first told me about another organization, I was like, oh no. I'll be real transparent. I was like, not another organization, but then I checked it out, and it's like, oh, here's a different type of group that, I saw the likes of the people that were involved, and it was just like, oh my gosh, we've got like super, super, super heavy hitters and influencers in the plant-based space. We have people that are fairly new to this. They're just starting a business and they're involved. We have nonprofits. It's really amazing. But what I love most is I've had the opportunity to watch things unfold, and some of the benefits of membership. One is we have a speakers area where if you're a speaker.
I was getting to that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just
the answer I had. Okay, I know I was
sorry.
taking the long stroll. But, and I love that too, because to Meryl's point about interdependency, I love the whole, I got to bring all of these other pieces into it too. We have we actually have 4 CEOs here. And Meryl is the Chief Interdependency Officer. And I'll let them explain what that's all about in just a moment. But Paul is the Chief
Empathy
Officer.
It's okay. It's okay, Vilan. It's okay.
That's why he's the CEO, Chief Empathy Officer, because he empathizes with
That's okay. Yes, thank you, Paul. And it's funny. I've designated myself as the Chief Empowerment Officer in our business, and Kathleen's probably the Chief Excitement Officer. Mm-hmm. But it's those kinds of things that you get to do with others, and some of the benefits of being a part of the Speakers Bureau is not only can you participate as a speaker, but you can nominate speakers. Other people who are speakers, and you have somebody that needs a speaker. You can put yourself in as a speaker in the Bureau, and people will find you. There are so many advantages. We have a page that's going to have all of the authors listed with their books. We're going to have a page that has all of the podcasts that people are hosting, so that if there's a podcast that you'd like to be a guest on, you'll have it right there. You can reach out from there. And I will venture to tell you that you will get a quicker answer going through the Alliance than you would cold calling and trying to get on one of these podcasts. And affiliate memberships. We will be doing programs and other things, events, where we're looking to have others to help us in the marketing and sales, and you'll be rewarded with affiliate opportunities.
Dylan?
Yes, sir.
Let me, if I could, just for a moment here, a couple things that I think to me that are motivating. First, I'll add to the list. We're also going to have lifestyle medicine doctors, nutritionists, dietitians. And when you said that we're going to have events, we've got, places where people could go for vacation that is vegan or plant-based. But to me, it's like when I keep saying it's an alliance, because that's a nicer word than a union. But think about that. Take the individual today that is just getting by, or it's their passion business play, and they're losing money. They're putting all this time in, and they're not attracting enough to make it financially worthwhile. But their heart is telling them, I got to keep going. Tomorrow's that day that it's going to change. And those tomorrows have been days, months, and in years. So now all of a sudden, anybody could come onto the Sage Circle Alliance website, and you could do a drop down, and you'll say, hey, I have an event and I need a speaker. Well, we can have as many speakers as speakers join us, and you could choose from all their areas of expertise. On the medical side, we're going to have lifestyle doctors, but it could be general practitioners. It could be for cancer or heart disease or diet specialists. Exactly. If you want to take a vacation, we're going to have multiple places that you can go that are plant-based aware, and we'll make sure to handle whatever your needs might be. So to me, it's really one-stop shopping for all your needs to be happy and most of all healthier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what excites me. Now it's a matter of opening the door, which we did today, inviting anybody in. There's a little bit of a process to be, to enter in. But once you're in, the best thing is every single person who's part of the SCA gets noticed. So, for example, I am the founder of the Plant-Based Nutrition Support Group. You go to your community event, your potluck dinner in your city, then you say goodbye to your friends, and now you got 29, 30 days of lifestyle change. You need help. Now you could go to PBNSG on the SCA website, and you could become a member for $10 a month. So it's being noticed and being a collective. That is what excites me the absolute most.
And I love there are several ways to get noticed. We're going to be doing speed networking events. We've got a newsletter that's going to be published twice each month. Blog posts, if you're a writer and you write blog posts, and we've got a place for blog posts. We've got a membership directory where your name and your business name and what you do and your logo and all of that will go. And job postings. How many of us have been looking for someone to help in some specific way and didn't know the first way outside of something like Indeed to go about finding someone, or Fiverr? And now you'll have a place where you can post job postings.
Yeah. How about this one too? Let's say that you're young and you want to start your first vegan, we'll just say business, whatever it might be, but you're not IT savvy. On our website, you can make a connection with a web designer and his full team, and they will help you develop your IT infrastructure, which is critical. That's why it took Meryl and I 1 year to introduce the SCA. You got to do the back office first. So again, this is an example of we'll have all the resources. We just need you.
Mm-hmm. You'll have opportunities to list your events on the upcoming events page. You'll have business referrals. We'll even be tracking business referrals. If you make a business referral, we want you to let us know what you did. We want to track those, because if we can say we made 8,000 business referrals during the course of the year, do you think that somebody got some advantage from that?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've also got digital marketing opportunities for you to find digital marketers to help with social media or, website development beyond the website getting established. I mean, there's so many resources within the organization, and that's already, we've got a membership base right now that we're founding members. The membership that is open right now and through the entire month of May, that you'll be hearing about daily as we move through the month of May, is our charter membership. And charter members get all of the membership benefits that are appropriate for whatever level they come in at. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But we are looking at this being an exclusive group of members, just like our founding members. charter members are the second tier membership. And this is what you'll get becoming a member during the month of May, with a 10% discount on the annual membership and some special perks that are coming your way as well. And so, Kathleen, I know you've got more
Yeah,
to
I
add to
do. I
this.
do. And the perspective I'm coming in from is the benefit to those who have organizations and businesses where you want that visibility, because quite seriously, a lot of people don't understand the power of visibility, nor do they know how to get it. But imagine, if you will, we host a podcast show that we just launched. We had Meryl on the official launch, and Paul's going to be interviewed very shortly. And with that, we need traction. We need eyeballs on the videos, and we need ears on the audios. And for podcast hosts, you want that kind of critical mass, if you will. That's what you get from this organization. If you have a book launch going on, imagine if all the members were told about your book. If I'm not mistaken, recently didn't one of the members, it was Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. And Meryl, would you?
We're going to do some name dropping.
Yeah, we're going to drop a few names here.
That was Dr. Will Tuttle that Kathleen is talking about, and had over almost 150 people at his Zoom book launch. And many of them came because of having heard of it through the SCA.
And imagine, as an author, being able to have that kind of visibility, because many authors, and this is like my marketing background, where I get really frustrated with people not realizing how much effort it takes to get that visibility. In this organization, you've got that built in. But imagine, you get a book, you put it up on Amazon, and then you wait and wait and wait, or having 150 people who show up to a book signing. It's like, what could be better than that? So, I get excited about the, if you will, the widget side of things and the mechanics of what the member benefits are. In addition to being a part of a vegan and a plant-based community, because that is very important to a lot of us. We see what's going on in the world right now. We see the world is in a world of hurt, and we're doing what we can. And together we can do so much more than trying to do it individually. I remember about a year ago, I met a young woman who was brand new to being vegan and plant-based. And she goes, "Nobody's doing anything." And I said, "Actually, there are people doing things." And I gave her some names of groups and books and documentaries. And what I realized is what we needed was the Sage Circle Alliance to really bring that to the forefront so that people can see. And we're going to be doing a lot of promotion to get the name out for the organization. Members are going to be promoting it. We've got these lives going on. So there's a lot that will benefit you to being a member. And speaking of which, how do people become members?
You know what, let me, if I could, just one other quick thing, just a kind of a visual that I keep thinking, which is, at the plant-based nutrition support group, let's say we have 120,000 connections. So now on the website, you'll see SCA as a dropdown. Now that's a dropdown that we never had before. And in that dropdown, it's going to connect to every single member. And now 120,000 new connections know all about what each of these members do that are part of the SCA. And then think about doing that with every single member. So if you have a website or a Facebook following and you line up the SCA underneath your umbrella, then you're going to be introducing hundreds of thousands of new connections. So when do you get the opportunity to do that from a business standpoint? You're going to have that now with the SCA. Please go back to, like, how do you become a member, Meryl?
Well, I think am I off mute?
You're off mute.
Yeah.
Thank you. So if you go to the website, which is sagecirclealliance.org, there is a link in the top, let's call it navigation bar, and it says something like member login or join to how to be a member. Or there's other buttons that say join, right?
Mm-hmm.
You click on that and it'll tell you to start entering your information, right? So there's put your name, your first name, your last name, your business name, your website, whatever that is, right? There are different levels you can join at too. So if you are, let's say, a student and you are interested in Paul is showing us his screen. If you're a student, you can join at a student level, right? Because we realize students don't make a lot of money generally, so that's a pretty low bar to hit, right? There's a volunteer level. If you feel like you can't, maybe the small business level or the nonprofit level isn't appropriate for you, but you feel like you want to volunteer. Maybe you want to write blogs, or you want to help with being a bookkeeper or whatever. There's so many different. You want to contribute to the think tank. You want to work with the Speakers Bureau. You want to volunteer in some way. You can do that with no financial outlay, basically. There's a small business level. There's a,
lifestyle medicine
level. If you are a credentialed provider and you're actually practicing lifestyle medicine, there's an area for those. So you choose whatever level. Say it again.
Corporate.
Yes, corporate and beyond corporate, right? Enterprise and corporate plus and things like that. So you choose whatever level seems most appropriate. And there are correlated financial commitments for each one, right? Membership fees. And with each one, there's increasing benefits or perks for being a member. You choose whatever one works for you. You fill out the form. It's going to ask for a credit card. Thank you for putting in your credit card information and making the contribution. And you're in. You're on right then. And you can start looking at what's available and contacting other members and reaching out and making connections. One of my favorite parts of this alliance that no one else has said anything about yet, so I'll bring it up, is we are dedicated to solving problems. There have been existing problems, and this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier, problems that have existed and gotten worse over generations now, that we know if we just could wean off the animal products, just back them down, even if you're not ready to fully commit to giving up animal products, right? We could just back off. We know that we can make a difference. So looking at those problems, coming up with answers that do include changing diet and doing something with our food system, our eating patterns and things like that. That's one of the areas that is built in as an area, a way that you can make a difference for humans, animals, and planet. And that's the think tank. We actually take the tough problems and sit with 10 people who all have the same passion and the same thought processes with some variation. I'm not going to say we all think alike, because we don't, but the goal is to resolve some of these tough problems and make a difference that way. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about, is the idea of solving problems, the idea of coming up with fresh, innovative answers to these challenges we've been facing for a long time.
And I love that. And I'll just piggyback on that. And then I want to go back to the to a comment for the membership. But the problems that we are in now, there are all types of solutions. And the problem with that is that we don't have enough information about what those solutions are. And one of the beautiful things about the Sage Circle Alliance is they have a podcast. The Sage Circle Alliance podcast is called Sage
Talk
for Wicked Problems. And, when you're talking about Sage Talk, you know that it's wisdom, you know that it's the conversation that doesn't just talk about the problem. They talk about the solutions that are there now that may not be full solutions, but they are like initial stages of the solution. And I think that's one of the things that the Sage Circle really is too. It's an entry into being a solution to the problems that are out there with the health of people, the animals, and the planet. And one of the things that I'm really proud of about the SCA is that knowing that plant-based and vegan entrepreneurs are in every stage of business, just like the membership levels outlined, there's also the opportunity for payment plans.
Mhm.
You know, it's an annual membership, but yes, you can pay it over each month. You can pay it quarterly. You can pay it semi-annually, or you can pay the annual. And I really wanted people to know that, because they really want people, entrepreneurs in this space, to not have a barrier to becoming a member. And if a annual number does not suit you, there's a way for you to get in and
We,
become a member.
yeah, we will work with you. One thing else that we're looking for is sponsorship. So, like, we would love to have sponsorship so we could broaden our horizons and make more connections and make more awareness. Because if we all work together with sponsors, with our members, then we have a chance to make a difference. And I think at the core, that's why we are the Sage Circle Alliance, is because every member wants to make a difference.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
I
we
think
also
the big-
know the
oh, go
more
ahead.
voices, we know the more voices we have and the more members we have, there's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We can make that big of a difference.
So the one thing that I will put out there is to ask for the members to join. I mean, we're going to put the ask out there. We want you to join, and especially if you're committed to the vegan lifestyle, the plant-based lifestyle. If you know that there are so many things going on right now that there are solutions to, and you want to be a part of that solution, then go ahead and go to the website, click the join button, and decide which level will most appropriately fit your lifestyle, your budget, and your commitment to making a change in the world. And again, what is that web address, please, Meryl?
You know what? I'm going to put it as a banner if that's a
That
possibility,
would
but
be,
Yes.
that would be
is sagecirclealliance.org, and I will put it right now.
okay. And for people who are listening but not watching, because sometimes in the back, when I went on a run this morning, I was listening to a podcast about Steve Harvey and how he made lifestyle changes. And one of the changes he made was to add more plants to his diet, because he was pre-diabetic. He had what he called the sad American male stomach. It was protruding, and his stylist would create outfits that would make it kind of hide. And he said, I was tired of hiding out, so even people like Steve Harvey see the benefit of more plants in their diet. So it's sagecirclealliance.org. It's scrolling across the bottom, sagecirclealliance.org.
Look
I
at
encourage
you,
you to go
Meryl.
there.
Look at you, Meryl, you little IT lady.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
learned from the
amazing.
best.
Pretty amazing.
I love it. Love it. Yes. And we will be having more campaigns, like, if you remember the Ditch Milk campaign that PCRM, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, was running, that actually got milk taken out of advertising. We're going to be doing things like that. That's one of our huge, hairy, audacious goals, is to do campaigns like that where we can show up in the media and be heard and be seen, to magnify the fact that meat is not the best source of protein. Vegetables are, and other whole foods are. And so we want more people to know this, and we need your help to do that. We need the plant-based and vegan entrepreneurs to be a part of the Sage Circle Alliance. And we need your ideas and your hands to help with all that will be required to do that. We actually want your dollars, your connections to sponsors, so that they will see us as a viable organization to help fund and create the change in the world that we're trying to create. And so join us. be a part of something big that's coming, the Sage Circle
Absolutely.
Alliance.
Absolutely. And no matter where you are on your journey, I remember in 2018 when I went plant-based, I was lost. I was like, where do I go to get information? And of course, we went to Mr. Google and Mrs. Google for the answer. And what I realize now with this organization is if you're brand new or you're even thinking about it, check us out. If you've been around for a long time, like we've got influencers that have been 40, 50, 60 years as plant-based vegan eaters. And don't let the word vegan scare you. This is about a community of people that we are really committed to making a change. And if you're new, check it out, because what you'll find is you will be embraced, you will be welcomed in, and you will feel a part of a community. Because I know that in my own personal life, I'm the vegan in the family. I'm the plant-based eater in the family. And that can get kind of lonely at times. And I think many of us are, and it can get lonely. And you think, am I alone in this? And it's like, no, you're not. There are people all over the world who are looking for this kind of community. So please do yourself, do us, and do the world a favor and join this organization.
I wanted to bring up one other thing, Velin. You mentioned about me being CIO and Paul being CEO. So CIO is interdependence. That's what the I stands for. And maybe we could talk just a little bit about that, what that means. So we came together as a group, right? And right now I think we have about 30 or so members in the group. And Paul and I early on were pretty clear we didn't have all the answers. If we had all the answers, it would have been fixed by now, right? So we figured out, okay, we don't have all the answers. That was a humbling moment for sure. But it allowed us to look for other ways to bring in other people's wisdom and experience and expertise and passion and curiosity and all of that, right? And all of that is what goes into the pot when you're coming up with innovative solutions. So that is what we mean by interdependence. Everybody in this organization has a voice. Everybody in this organization can contribute in whatever way they feel most comfortable. And we also encourage people to stretch a bit, right? Give us your opinion, give us your expertise, give us what you're taught, what you see, and as far as challenges and successes in areas that maybe up till now haven't been wide open for resolution. That's what interdependence is about, that we all contribute and we all give ear and are open to hearing other people's ideas.
Yeah, Meryl, it's kind of interesting. It's like, since we don't have the answers, and I agree that, it's kind of neat to get into a group of people who care and are like-minded without the ego stuff. And we talk it out and we choose what is best, kind of majority rule. But as the CEO, the Chief Empathy Officer, I'm here to announce that, probably no big surprise to some, that I am a 1%er, meaning whatever's happened to me, if I'm wrong, I admit it and I ask for forgiveness. But if you wronged me or something like that, that's all you got to do is, hey, I had a bad day, or if we're not talking today for whatever the reasons, I believe that we'll come back together, because if I cared about you at one point and things didn't work out, we could go back, we could restep it, and we could care about each other again. So to me, as the Chief Empathy Officer, here's what I'd like to say to everybody. I would like to say that if you become a member, then everything in the past is in the past. And we will help your organization grow. And I'm so tempted to call out some people, but I'm not going to. I'd rather just say this. Meryl's the voice of reason for me. Just give it a try. Because I know these organizations and I understand and empathize with their struggles. At the core, whether you like me or not, or I like you or not, if you're trying to help people, then you're in, because that's what we all are about, is helping people be healthier, be happier. So come join the SCA, and We will start from the moment you join, and we will help grow your business. We will become friends again because I'll spend time not on the past negatives, but only on the future, because that's all that matters. You learn from the past and you look forward to the future, and we're living right now in this moment. And what a fun moment I've had so far, you know?
Right on.
That's really how we are, like, weaving together the community between the open arms and Paul's the nice one. I love working with people. I love collaborating. I love pulling together.
Oh my God.
And that's how we build community in the Sage Circle Alliance.
And if you want to see who some of the new members or the members are, the founding members, go to the website, sagecirclealliance.org, and click on members, and you'll see the influencers. You'll see people that are fairly new to this lifestyle, and you can be a part of it. All you need to do is hit that join button.
Perfect.
All right.
Membership investment is quite reasonable. And again, you know, looking at what's the best way to lessen the barrier to entry, I think you'll see it right there when you click that pay button. You'll see the options that you can select and join us. You know,
hey, Lynn, you know, one thing too, if anybody has any questions, just reach us at connect@sagecirclealliance.org, and it will come. Meryl, you're on mute.
I think it's contact.
Oh, okay, contact. Connect, contact, tomato. Okay, that makes a difference. Contact@sagecirclealliance.org, and it goes right to Meryl and I. And you can't choose who's going to call you back, but we'll help you through what any questions you may have. Okay.
All right. Well, this has been delightful, and Paul, thank you. Meryl, thank you. And of course, Lynn, I always love connecting with you and contacting you. Contact, connect, tomato. Okay. But it is contact@sagecirclealliance.org, and it's sagecirclealliance.org. Do yourself a favor, do the world a favor, and check it out and join. And, you know, there's no downside to this at all. There's a lot of upside. And right now we need it.
And there's even more, because there's perks to you telling others, let others know. If you are in this plant-based vegan space, you're an entrepreneur, you're a health practitioner, you're someone in this conversation of using lifestyle and food as medicine, healing the planet, because you know what is happening that's destroying the planet, then join us. And if that's not you, but you know someone, let them know. Tell them, check us out. Check this out. Came across this. I think this is right up your alley. Check this out. And I can't tell you the number of stories we've heard from people who said, well, my friend told me I should check you out. And so be one of those friends and join us. This is going to be, you know, you talk about a movement, and when you think about a movement is motion. And motion requires other energy in order to stay in motion. And to do that, join in that motion that is taking place. This movement, you know, it reminds me of, I was talking to a guy I used to work with on a project, and he was actually saying that the plant-based movement was 100 years old, yet it had the traction of almost nothing happening. And here we are 100 years later. Do you think it's about time that we got something going? And I think that the motivation today is a lot different than it was 100 years ago.
Right.
Which is another reason why, you know, the statistics are showing that parents in today's environment will outlive their children, because at least this generation of parents were brought up on different food than the food that these parents are giving their children now. And it is shortening their lifespan. Do you think that if we can do something about it, now is the time? Now is the time.
Yep.
And we're putting this out there to you. We're making this offer to you. Join us as we move forward in this motion. And like Kathleen said, the downside, none. The upside, tremendous.
All righty. Well, this has
Thank
been delightful. Thank you. And to everybody who's been watching and who will watch, thank you, and be blessed and be plant-based.
Wherever you see this video, put a comment. Let us know. Share the video with your groups and your connections. We'd love to invite more in. And you'll be seeing us daily during the month of May.
Let your light shine. See, just let your light shine. I had, it's been sitting here playing with this. I had to do this. It's like a little rabbit hole, Paul. I know you can appreciate that.
Oh, I can. All right. Well,
all right. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
All right.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.